Alright, looks like we have a quadratic and linear system here. So we go straight to the TI-84. Alright. We don't know how to graph this yet. We're going to learn how to graph a quadratic in standard form. You guys graphed in vertex form, which you should see parentheses or something like that. But this guy does not have parentheses. So you go to the graphing calculator. So it looks like I got some stuff in there. I will hit clear. Looks like my quadratic's going to be in blue, so I'm going to go x squared minus 4x plus 6, push down, and then I'm going to have x plus 2. E will be in red. Then you might want to write this down in your note card too. Make sure you do a zoom standard. But even then, you're not guaranteed to see your... Okay, well, perfect. So this looks like it's 1, 1, 3. All right, so where's my pen? 1, 3. So 1, 3, and then this guy over here looks like he is 4, 4, 6. Okay, so 1, 3, 4, 6. There you go, easy enough. All right, so that's that. So now we're going to go to elimination, and this you do need to show me the work for. So make sure that I see your steps. Okay, you can't just guess. Show me you know how to do this. So let's go ahead and multiply. Well, why not this first line by -1? Okay, so what was negative is now positive, and what was positive is now negative. So then that way, when this guy being positive, I get a -6x, the y's cancel out, and now I get equals a -24. So now this means that x equals 4. If x equals 4, I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the second one here. And let's figure out what y needs to be. So that would be -36 plus 3y equals -30. Move that over there, and he will become positive. So positive 36 plus -30 is a positive 6. So y actually has to equal 2. So x is 4, y is 2. All right, and you'll notice too, if you found out that x is 4, that's the only one with x equals 4, so you should have went with that one anyway. All right, now with this guy, now I do see everything is actually, look at how it's multiplied by 8. Now this is interesting because I could divide everything by 8 and make this a 1, 1, and a 1. So there's many games I can play with this, but I'm going to kind of keep it simple here. Why don't I actually just go and make this guy become 40, or I could do it with the y. It doesn't matter. I could multiply this guy by 5 and multiply this guy by 4, or I could multiply this by 8, multiply this by 5. One of them has to be negative though. It doesn't really matter. So I guess I will go ahead and focus on the x's. Okay, so let's multiply the first group by -8. Okay, -8, 8 1/3, what is that, -110? I'm going to double check that. I don't trust myself at all. 15 times 8 is 120. Good thing I checked. 15 times... Okay, so -120. All right, now this guy we're going to multiply by 5. Okay, so now we get a positive 40y equals -80, and y has to be -2. All right, and it looks like it's got to be this guy, but just in case this is not going to be a multiple choice question on the test, it may or may not be. I'm going to plug in a y right here, so 5x minus 10 times -2 equals 15. So 5x plus 20 equals 15. So now 5x equals -5, so that means x equals -1. Okay, I probably did that pretty fast, but it is just elimination. All right. All right, so now we're going to graph these guys. Don't guarantee that this will be a multiple choice, so make sure you know how to graph this. In fact, one of these might be multiple choice, and then the next problem might not be a multiple choice. So you definitely want to make sure that you can graph these. I'm going to use 2 colors just for illustration though. So let me graph the first line. They will be simple lines though, okay? They're not going to be like crazy ones here. So I start at 1, and then I got a slope of -1, okay? And then going to the left though, I'm going to have to go up. It will be a solid line, and I will shade below. Okay, that means below. Now this one I'm going to shade above because it's pointing in the other direction. But this guy I'm going to use blue. I'm going to go to -3. I'm going to ignore all the pink, and I'm going to go up 1 over 3, and it's going to be a solid line. And this guy says shade above. So shading above would be this region right here. Okay, so my final answer is going to be where they overlap. Okay. All right. Now this guy requires some finagling here. So now we got to put this in slope-intercept form. So let's get the first equation, and then we'll do the pink line second. So let's go ahead and move everything we need to move. Okay, let's move the x over to the other side. And now we have to divide everything by 2, and it's +2. So that gives me a -1/2 for my slope, and it's going to be a -3 since I'm dividing -6 by 2 as well. Okay, you can just do this. Okay. All right, now that's very graphable. Within 2 steps, I've already got the line that I need. And so my slope is 1 over 2, 1 over 2. Going to the left, I'm going to go up, and that's going to be a dotted line. Okay. Now I did not divide by -2 here, so I'm going to shade above. Okay. So let's do equation number 2. So let's move that 3x over to the other side. It'll become negative. Okay, now I'm going to divide by -2. So when I divide by -2, this direction is going to change from less than to greater than. This will become a +3 over 2x, which is fine. Don't get the decimal. You don't need it. And then that would actually become a +1. So let's go to +1. We're going to go up 3 over 2. Up 3 over 2, ran out of room, so let's go down 3 over 2 to the left. And this guy will also be a dotted line. So since I'm shading above, that means that I need this region right here. That's where both the colors are. Okay? All right, that's how you graph these guys. Okay, and then the last 3 I will do in the last video.